Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Bulk here, I'm back again. This time I'm bringing you Rusty Hearts. As you see on the screen here, I have today's luck raw, which is a magic attack plus 5%. It does absolutely nothing for my class that I know of because my character is physical. I'm just going to collect some mail here from the auction house. Woo! Anyway, we're going to get started here. You start out in your personal room every time you log in. So you just go ahead and click leave room here, pick one of your destinations, and join. Now, a little bit further into my character, I am playing Tude, which is a claw guy. Well, he can spec between Demon Hands, Claws, or Gauntlets, level 20 I believe it is, through the main storyline. Much like every other game, you choose a focus and kind of switch your class out, so that's what you'll see me doing here. Hit a little bit of a load screen. Now these load screens take just a few. I mean, they can get a little bit long for no reason, but it's something to deal with. It's whatever. It's all good. Just gonna stand here for 1 second, let everyone load in because everyone's porting to the same spot. So now, one of my gripes about this game is the fact that here, I'm gonna go ahead and move this down. One of my gripes about the game is that they need more channels, like Vindictus or DFO. You have tons, you have like 100 different channels that you can go into, which kind of filters the population. So far, my experience with this game is you have, your standard East server, West server, and I can't remember the other one. But there are currently there's currently one channel for everything, so town can get a little bit, little bit etchy. So I got my, character load all down and everything, just so I can run a little bit better in town. Go ahead and load into the abandoned wing here. I got a few quests here, so we're going to go and check out the combat style. Now, this is very much like DFO, and kind of like Vindictus. DFO had a baby. It's made by Perfect World Entertainment. Going to go ahead and throw a buff on there to regenerate health. I probably won't need it, but it's better safe than sorry. Jumped in on hard mode here. You can see that I have abilities on a hotbar. Through your class spec, you can grab tons of different abilities and kind of play however you want. Right now, I was following a recommended build by some person on the forums. I can't remember his name, unfortunately. But I'm using all the abilities that he recommends for a claw using Tude. And I actually like the abilities quite a bit because you can see that there's definitely a lot of AoE capability and fast hitting with this class. It's really nice. You can be really jukey and dodgy. But this is technically a side scroller, even though it's, nice and 3D and cell shade and all that good stuff. Now we're gonna whoop some ass real quick. I'm trying to get through this dungeon so you can see kind of what the progress of a dungeon would be like. The main idea with the game, and you can see loot drops, you have to run over and actually manually pick it up. The main idea with the game is you're based off of one town and you go out into multiple instances over and over and over, just like DFO and or Vindictus, which is cool. A lot of people like this style. I like it a lot. These are the type of games that I come back to on a pretty frequent basis because they're just fun. So, you can see I'm picking up soft augment pebbles. Those are pebbles that actually increase your physical defense and or attack on your weapons. You just drag and drop them over it. You can stack them together. You'll see at the end of the video that I'm going to do that. Still whooping some ass. See, one thing to say is the flashing bar underneath my name is your AP bar. It's kind of used for your ultimate skills, some dodges, things of the sort. For me, it's used for Berserk, which you'll also see me use on the boss. It increases your crit and I guess move speed or attack speed, one of those. It basically gives you a really, really badass mode, and you can see me do tons of damage with it. So, yeah. Now, dodging in this game would be a double tap of your movement key. Typically, it starts out on the arrow keys. This is a mouse-free game. I have rebound all the keys, personally, so I'm actually using WASD as my movement with 4, 5, and 6 is my standard attack, block, and grab. 7, 8, 9 are my first, second, and third abilities, and QER are my 4th, 5th, and 6th. I find this to be very useful. It is so much better than the standard layout, and it's a lot easier to get used to if you play other MMOs and or anything online, really. WASD is kind of like a staple. I still kept the F1 through 4 buttons on their own because you really don't use them a lot. It's kind of like a one-time activate and go. Berserker's on my F3. F1 is regenerate for this class, which is fantastic. When you play the harder difficulties, you get hit really, really hard. So you definitely have to give that a check out. And F2 is a ability that whenever I crit, it increases crit damage for 20 seconds. I really don't use this skill a lot. I'm just spec'd into it currently for the attack speed shout that I'll be getting down the road, which will be amazing, no doubt. You can see the little orbs coming out of everything. There's destructible items like jars, crates, pots, all that good stuff. You always want to smash them as soon as possible because you can get heals, mana back from them, like that, and you can also get items from them. This is a very item-driven game. You'll get tons of loot through most of your instances. As far as gearing goes, you'll find a lot of gear that you can use to upgrade, and you can go a little bit further into it by smashing all the gear and dismantling, which you'll see later as well. And you use those raw materials to craft in town. You can craft set items, which are always a plus. Now in this particular instance there's silver keys because they've actually just started introducing locked doors. They did slightly earlier, I believe it's around level 17 that they started introducing locked doors with a library instance. In which case you have to go and find specific mob rooms that drop a key for you so that you can open up all the doors. Now I'm going to go ahead and round these guys up here and use my AoE to my advantage, and you get the job done very quickly. It's a Dempsey roll. Oh yeah. Alright. Anyway, we're going to go back for that pot real quick. Nothing in it, but there is that there. Now, Wise Man Stones are your standard items that you're going to use to increase your pluses on your item. Augment Stones increase flat damage, whereas Wise Man Stones you have to actually pay to upgrade, and they have a chance of downgrading back to 0 whenever you do it. Another kind of standard thing, but it helps a lot when you get a, for example, Augment 30 or higher on a weapon, and a minimum of +6 on your weapon, because it makes a really big damage difference. And you see my weapon glowing slightly there with the green. That's because it is currently a +6. There are items in the game that will automatically increase it to a +6 and such. So we're going to get rebuffed right here. I'm going to throw on Berserker. We're hitting the boss room now. We're going to fight the Sinful Seraph. Little bastard flies up in the air, and you have to use what's called a perfect guard in order to take him down. So you deal as much damage to him as you can right now, because here in a moment, there you go, it'll fly up in the air. This is the moment you want to kind of clear out the mobs that are pestering you, like I'm doing here. Anyway, perfect guard is when you hit your guard button the moment that something's going to hit you. Now, being that I reflected 1 of 3 fireballs, I took some damage there, which was terrible, but you still bring him down with the fireball hit, and you get a shower of loot at the end. I got one of the large cardboard boxes. That's one of the costume items. You have to do a specific quest for them in order to get a cardboard box head. You can get like a pig head, cat head, TV head, skull head, things of the sort. And you see that run took about 702. Triple S'd it, hit count 10. That's kind of bad. But hey, I'm relatively new to the game still. I've only been playing it for probably about 4 or 5 days, getting an idea of everything. Now at the end of the run, you're gonna see these cards here. You loot the cards through the run, which determines your loot at the end. I picked a bronze card, so I got one of them. Now you see the Dead Man's Chest. That is an option that if you hit Explore again, you can re-explore the dungeon with an extra chest at the or in the dungeon somewhere. It's really cool because you can get some really rare loot out of it. It's really nice. I'm just going to vendor off some weapons here for quick gold. Usually I would dismantle everything, but weapons, I don't know, lately I haven't been getting good dismantles. At the end of every run, you always want to repair as well, because if you hit explore again, it's gonna come in handy. But we're just going to go back to town. We're going to skip the dead man's chest for now. And I'm going to show you, a little bit of quest turn-in, quest pickup, as well as the dismantle feature, which I'll show you some of the materials you gain. Now, bringing up the map in this game in town, like I said, it was a little bit laggy before. Bringing up the map doesn't always respond right away, and I'm not sure if I'd like that or not. Alright, let's see. Paint up the box with some cow stuff. So it looks like I'm going to get a cow head out of it. Now this is my skill trainer for Tude. You can see you have 3 different skill trees. Once you select focus, it really determines your playstyle. You start with basic skills from 1 to 20, and then when you actually choose your focus, all of your abilities change in some way, which I like that a lot because it keeps everything nice and fresh. In order to respec once again, though, you have to buy a skill reset from the cash shop or auction house. Luckily, it's very easy to make money in this game. You just have to pay attention to the prices of the materials you get from dismantle. You can make a lot of early gold. I think before I was level 20, I made probably like 500,000-600,000 gold. And the average going price of a skill reset on the East server, which I am on, is about 500,000. So if you really screw up your talent tree, because you do have limited points, which, adds to the customization of you're always different from someone else, you can always go back and reset it relatively easy, as long as the prices hold up, I guess. I guess if everyone stopped buying resets, then it would be a little bit of a pain in the ass. Now I'm in this starter area here. You start down south at the south dungeon whenever you create a character. The controls are going to feel really clunky at first. I didn't like them personally. That's why, like I said, I remapped everything, rebound it all. I'm going to go ahead and pick up another quest. You have another quest for the abandoned wing. You get a lot of repeats, so you have to repeat the same dungeon probably anywhere from 1 to 10 times. But that's cool. Something almost always changes in between quests. Like they add something new, a new element to the dungeon. So that's another way they keep it fresh. You have the Dead Man's Chest, which promotes you wanting to run it again. And they also have death that can appear at the end of it, which will spawn a miniature gauntlet. And past, level 17, I think it is, there's a Dead Man's Hand that loots your stuff off the ground if you don't pick it up fast enough. And if death spawns, that's one way you can get it back, is by defeating the gauntlet. Now, like I said, there's an auction house here. I was just going to show you real quick. You hit weapons, search, a bunch of it comes up. A lot of low-level gear doesn't exactly make it on the auction. I'm assuming just because the player base is probably all higher up right now and things of the sort. Anyway, we're going to dismantle real quick. I didn't put those boots on because they had magic attack. I don't like magic attack. So they give you materials here. If you choose to close the window without actually looting it, for some reason it destroys it. I don't like that feature. Not a whole lot. I would prefer if it just goes directly to your inventory. Augment was destroyed. You can recover augment stones whenever you dismantle. You have a chance. Anyway, I'm going to show you a little bit of the costume stuff here. As you see, I have a big teddy bear. I'm going to go and throw on some normal stuff so you see what my character would, look like on a normal basis. There we go. My badass claw. Yeah. I'm going to throw the teddy stuff back on, though, because that's just, it's awesome to run around as a teddy. And pig head, cat head, like I said. Anyways, that's all I've got for you this time. So if you like the video, thumbs up, subscribe, share, show your friends, all that good stuff. And until next time, ladies and gents, this is Polgout.